Well, I asked, you responded, now I deliver. Here are my thoughts on the JHD convention dolls. Hola, high fashion doll lovers. My name is Christopher y bienvenidos to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the JHD toys toy company. Every time I say that name, it doesn't roll off my tongue easily. Anywho, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the convention dolls that they have just recently released. So JHD holds a convention similar to W Club. However, this convention is only in Asia. I say Asia because I don't really know the location. Part of me wants to say China, but a part of me thinks I'm wrong. So it's just not open for, let's say, an international public is what I've noticed. But they've been holding it down for a few years now. And I feel like this convention, compared to last year's, I think this one has a lot more dolls that were released. But yeah, you said you wanted to hear it. I'm here to deliver my thoughts. And also thank you for being so blunt and honest with my question, because of you, I am now in front of this camera and actually doing something with my life because, yeah, anywho. Let's get right into the first trio of dolls. Look, guys, I finally put my seat to the side. If it didn't irk you, it irked me. And for some reason, I never corrected it till today. So, yeah. Welcome to me finally realizing things that need to get fixed. Anyways, let's get into the first three dolls from this convention. I actually don't know the order in how they were introduced, so I'm kind of just throwing it out there. The first three dolls that I'm going to be talking about are their basic dolls. Now, their basic dolls seem to be a part of a theme that they are going hard with this year, which they're calling Immortal Egypt. And that's probably the only thing I can pronounce because honestly, these names, while that paper is really far, I should probably get it closer to me. It's okay. I know what I need to know for this set of dolls, so I think I'll be okay. First up, let's take an image of the Latina, I would say, in this trio, and the Caucasian in this trio. I will say the Latina out of the three is her dress is the strongest and her look is strong, but it's not the strongest out of the three, is what I'm actually going to say there. These dolls, each one of them is priced at $79. I don't ever know why they don't round it off just to 80, but whatever. It's $79. And if I'm not mistaken, two of them are at $500 and one of them is at $400, meaning the quantity. It appears that most of these dolls for this convention have a 500 quantity number, but one of these three has 4, and a part of me thinks it's the AA, which we'll get into after we look at these two. As I was saying, I think the Latina in this group has the strongest dress out of the three. Her screening is also very strong. And the only thing I think that she has going for her that ties her into this like Immortal Egypt is really her haircut and the screening. I think they tried to take a more modern approach with these looks on the basic dolls. And she, out of the three, I think has the strongest reflection of that theme, honestly. Like when we look at the Caucasian, I'm kind of like, it's just a really nice pink tweed dress. I don't think any of it really represents Egypt in any way. And I also think out of the three, she has the weakest screening. I think the other two characters in this collection trio have a really good, strong palette that goes really well with this Egyptian storyline, while the Caucasian does not. I really feel like maybe we should have done a more lighter shade of the blue to kind of tone it down and maybe give her more of a natural lip that didn't feel so harsh. There's something about the screening that just, it reads a lot stronger than the other two girls, and it just doesn't read Egypt as well. So yeah, I'm also realizing that we're going really hard with this Katie body, I think it is. And I'm not opposed to it. I think one of the best things that JHD has going on is the fact that they really are leaning towards diversity in bodies, honestly speaking. You know, when we get to the Adonis, because there are two that are presented here, I love that they're focused on that and that is their thing because they own that and that's great. So I honestly am not opposed to them going harder with the Katie body and really making that more of their staple because it really is their mold that they've invented and they created to have this curvier girl. So more power to them. I only brought it up because I feel like the shape of these dresses, in the photos that we see of the girls in the dresses, and when we get to the third doll, there's a photo of all three in the bottom. The way that the cutouts were made, they just didn't lay as nicely. So we might need to work on construction for this body type a little bit better. I think the idea with the cutouts and the way that these dresses were designed was there, but I think something was lacking in the tailoring. Because if I'm not mistaken, because I'm going off the top of my mind, I didn't pull up the computer for this. The Latina, something about the dress just feels very boxy and like she has a lot of space around her hips. So yeah, that's my thought on these two. Now let's pop up the image of the third doll in this group. Whew. The face card never declines is the only thing I have to say about this. Like the screening, the hair color, the hairstyle, although it's just, you know, straight and down. It just all works in a way that when I look at this headshot, I'm like, she's iconic. Okay? I said it. She is iconic. If it wasn't because I'm someone who has already had way too many bad trials with JHD, and we're also not in a place in the community of doll collecting to be taking risk like that, okay? Got a little bit, we got to think about where we put our money at right nowadays, because I would have probably done this girl. I really would have. I have played with the Katie body in my hand because a friend of mine has it. It's not my preferred favorite because I feel like the torso just isn't long enough for everything that's going on. And I wouldn't buy this doll to rebody her somewhere else. But this face, iconic. Like, that's all I have. It's just one of those faces that when you see it, all you have, it's just perfection is what I'm getting at here. This is how you do a neutral, strong, Nubian face screening. And I cannot believe I'm saying that about JHD, out of all people. Yep, they did it. They did it. With the Latina and the AA, they did it here. Because the Latina also has a beautiful natural screening that would work great anywhere else. But the AA is really just, ooh, chef's kiss, I tell you. And we continue with the Immortal Egypt collection. So next up we have Nefertiti, I believe is who we are naming this doll. She is priced at $119. I pulled the paper closer. And she has a quantity of 500. Again, I'm going to keep on repeating it, but everyone's at 500. Now, Nefertiti. There is something about her I like, and let's focus on those. I think the necklace, amazing styling. I actually really love the color of the dress. I love the upper part of the dress. There's images with like that braid in the middle kind of just like tagging along, and then the length of the dress kind of being at a cocktail knee thing. Yeah. And something I didn't mention about the basic dolls, and I'm going to mention it about Nefertiti, ironically enough. The shoes aren't a standout here. For a dress that's showcasing the shoes, for some apparent reason, I can't remember them. I remember that the basic girls have gold shoes and they have different versions of like gold sandals, but that's about it. And with Nefertiti, I'm kind of like, I don't remember it at all. This part of her existence is very primitive. It's not a word, Christopher. That's not a word. It's very strong in my visuals right now from like the bust up. And I think it's because Again, I love the necklace with the uppercut of the dress, and I love the color of the dress with the necklace, but I don't get the curls. The hairstyle just, especially with like the Immortal to Egypt thing. I almost feel like we should have kept the bob with the sharp bangs from the basic doll and included it here, maybe with a different hair color, maybe made the bob a little shorter, like really lean towards that Egyptian iconic hairstyle even further, because this isn't it. Or maybe giving me an updo and included some like earrings that were like a staple along with the dress. But this doll, all I think about is the hair, and the hair being so distracted. Also, for her being $119, why is she $119? And we're going to start getting into my issues with pricing with JHD. Because as someone who's had the quality, and it's not worth what they're charging, it's probably why I would have leaned towards the basic doll more if I would have gotten it, because I almost can be like, okay, I could do the $80. But the $119, what am I getting? Her dress is a little bit longer than the basic dolls, and she has a necklace that the basic girls don't have. Does that really suffice for making her higher in price? Because she really just looks like the fourth basic girl. Like, there's no massive accessories. There's just, oh, JHD. What's going on? And that's all I got to say about Nefertiti. That's it. Because what else is there to say? Honestly. Okay, now we're going to get into Cleopatra, who I believe really closes off the trio of 3 Egyptian gods, I'm going to call them, from the JHD collection. So JHD previously presented an Adonis and another doll from this Egyptian collection before the convention. There is an image where I have all 3 of them, including the Cleopatra. So I'm going to put that one up first so you can see that there. So you can see all 3 of them. Again, sorry, got distracted by the outside noise of New York. They did a great thing with this storytelling. They did a great thing with this concept. It feels very movie-esque, very fantastic. I think my only issue with this theme, however, it's just not original. It's something we have seen Mattel do numerous times. It's just a theme that feels oversaturated. Doesn't feel fresh. Doesn't feel like we're taking the doll world in a new direction. It kind of just feels like we're going backwards, personally. What I will say about Cleopatra is similar to what I said to Nefertiti. She is priced at $189. And I guess you're telling me she's priced at $189 for like the gown and the cape and the headpiece. But what else is she $189 for? Like, does she not have the word is not, it's not a wand, but, oh, the word's not coming to me. But the thing that people hold, she don't got one of those. Like, there's not a lot of jewelry here. What is this price for this doll? Now, I will say, I do love the look. But I know from experience, the quality of this doll is not worth $189 for this look. And I think when you remove the cape and you look at the dress alone, I think the dress is gorgeous. The gold, I think it's a fabulous dress. I've just had enough negative experiences with fabric that I just won't take the risk, especially in the times that we are currently living in. Okay. Not gonna do it. But again, I think she is gorgeous. I think they did a great job with their theme. I'm just somewhat tired of this theme and would have wished they would have done something else. But thankfully with the Cleopatra, we have ended the Immortal Egyptian storyline. So within this storyline, we have 7 dolls. We have 3 basic, 3 gods, and Nefertiti, who just kind of stands in the middle of, yeah, don't know what that was for, but they did that, I guess. Up next from reveals at this convention is a doll that is kind of random, honestly, because she's not a part of the Immortal Egyptian, and she's not a part... Yes, I got it. You need to go, but I don't know who you honking on, and I'm the one listening. Okay? Anywho, she is not a part of the Immortal Egyptian, and she is not a part of the trio that we're going to discuss after her. She's just kind of random. And maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not. I like a good story. And if a girl's random, I like to know if she's going to introduce something else. Like, what's the dealio, girl? Oh, but she's pretty. That's it. I said it. What I don't like. Well, first of all, I can't pronounce his name. It's like Champs Elise. And she's a Gloria face mold, it appears. Those are what my notes said over there. It seems like a really French thing that I can't break down. But all I see is like an Elise in there, in the name. She's giving, here we go again with not original. Do you remember, and I hope you do because she was iconic, and I still to this day, you know, I said that I should go look on eBay if the clothing are still available and put them on my watch list for when I could purchase it. Do you remember when Mattel did that Coach Barbie with the trench coat and the fabric handbag from Coach? That is what this doll reminds me of, just with a knockoff Burberry jacket. Like, she has that essence. The styling is not exactly the same, obviously. This has more blue tones, that one had more red tones. But we're in like the same vein of kind of like styling and theme. So again, I'm just feeling very repetitive. I'm feeling not new, not fresh, not cutting edge. She is the best styled, I think, out of the ones that I've seen the most in this convention. She would have been the one I would have gone to if I had a... I don't even know what I'm trying to say, guys, because I can't get past the bad quality of fabric, and no image of any of these dolls makes me feel like the quality has been upgraded. So I'm not yet ready to take that risk on any of this, honestly. And if I haven't said it before, she's priced at $169. Oddly enough, I respect her $169. She gives the feeling of a more complete doll. But not a great doll, but a complete one. She carries a story on her own, whatever that story is. But I can't get past the fact that when I see her, I think of Coach Barbie, the iconic Coach Barbie, because that Barbie was iconic. I was collecting dolls at the time, and I still to this day don't remember why I didn't get that one, because, baby, she was good. And now let's get into the final collection that was introduced at this convention. And believe it or not, this is the time that I say, well, hello there, original concept, because it feels fresh. It feels like a new take. I haven't seen this. Really? So the next collection they introduced is called Yellowstone. Like the park, I guess. I'm going to talk about the female character in this line first. And her name is like Whisper of the Breathe Gloria. The names were just names, honestly. Once again, she has a quantity of 500, and she is also priced at $169. Now, unlike the previous Gloria with the like knockoff Burberry jacket, I do think this Gloria is styled very well, but I don't feel like she's a complete doll. So the $169 also feels a little bit of a reach here. I do think her styling is fresh. I do think her styling is unique. I do think her styling for this concept is right on. I don't think I've ever seen Western done this way, which is why I think this line, out of all of the lines, is fresh, is new, is inventive, and kind of gives me more to talk about because I don't think I've seen anything like it. You know what I'm saying? So, although I'm not keen on the 169, I feel like maybe she would have been better at like a 145, 135, perhaps. Because again, the thing I think that I always have an issue with JHD is that they give you a doll and they give you a style, but they don't really complete it anywhere. Like, there are no accessories. I mean, she got a hat, but I almost feel like you can't be a Western girl without a hat, honestly speaking. But what about a bag? What about what about something else to really give me a more cohesive story? Where are those things, JHD? Where are those things? I almost feel like they need like an accessory designer. I feel like they are okay with like the doll designing, but I feel like we need to elevate the accessories because it ain't here, boo. It's not. And now, last but not least, we have the Adonises. Oh, thank God they introduced the boy. Because I feel like last time they had a convention, there were no boys. And we were all questioning, where were the boys? Because, again, what I think JHD right now has as their strongest IP, is that what the people in marketing say? Is the Adonis. It is unique. It is different. It is fresh. It is like nothing anyone else has done or is doing. So I get excited when you show them. Now, I've owned one and I just didn't connect. Maybe I didn't connect with the right doll. Maybe I should have tried another one. But we weren't vibing. So I ended up passing him on to a friend. And then I appreciate looking at the Adonises and I appreciate seeing what they do with them. But there's yet to be one that catches my attention enough to be like, let me give it another try. It's like Poppy, I've given her multiple tries, so I can confidently say, not for me. JHD, female dolls, I've given numerous tries, and I can confidently say, until there's a change, it ain't happening again. So when it comes to the Adonis, I almost kind of don't have any more chances left to do that. So yeah. Gone down a rabbit hole and I realized I've been talking a lot about Adonis as a brand, but I have yet to talk about the two in this collection. Wow. Who would have thought? First, we have wilderness, tenderness. What is that? What? Jasper. The name is cute. But what's the wilderness, tenderness? We could have just stuck to Wild West or something. I digress. Jasper is also priced at $169, similar to Gloria, and that's at the 500 quantity, as everyone at this convention. And he cute. I do like his styling a lot. For some apparent reason, I always feel like the Adonis usually have a full styling moment. Like, they have accessories. It always feels like they have more than the girls do for some apparent reason. Like, they feel like complete fashion figures, I guess I should be calling them, and not dolls. But with Jasper, I feel like there's something in the hair and the face that just isn't clicking for me personally. Like, we have this half up, half down, short, blonde, kind of wavy thing going on with a goatee that's kind of like brown. I think the coloring just isn't coloring for me. Like, there's just something off with the combination, I think. But overall, styling wise, I think it looks really good. Once again, Adonises, they really are able with the Adonises to take a theme and make it unique to that brand and unique to that figure. And I think that's where they shine because he looks really good. I just kind of can't get past the face and the hair combo. Something ain't clicking for me personally. So he's not my strongest. But now Beck, who also has the same name, it's Wilderness Tenderness Beck. How original. Also priced at $169. Also the quantity of 500. I can't believe that I'm at a place where I'm actually going to be praising JHD for their AA dolls. Because out of this whole convention, their two strongest dolls, screening, hair, skin, look, are the two AA dolls in this whole thing. So if they hired a new designer over there in China, because these two, the icons of this convention. Beck is just, let me tell you something. You know how I was talking with Jasper and I was just like, I don't know if I have any more risk in me to like try another Adonis. Beck would have, if I could have, been the one where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. I really am. The denim on denim look for him was perfection. This like vest open back thing going on was giving very go-go dancer meets high fashion in a way, but still very, you know what I mean? Oh, Beck was becking. He was. Also the screening, the lips. Oh, fabulous, fabulous, fabulously done. Like, did they hire someone to work on their diversity out there? Because they definitely, with this collection, did it. Round of applause, again. Beck almost had me. And almost was a purchase. I can't lie. I cannot. I can't. And with that, on the joy, thrill, and excitement of Beck, I'm going to end this video right here. I have shared my thoughts on all of the dolls presented at this convention, and let me know in the comments down below which ones were your favorite. Are you taking part on participating on any of these JHD dolls? Are you placing a deposit? Are you a member? What are you going after? Are you going after anything? Has JHD said anything about the laws of... Yeah, I don't think so. And they're in China, so how is that going to be affected? Do tell me in the comments down below. But until next time, guys, adios.